When we talk about employment, we often say, it's my job. Well, if it really is your job, then why can your company take it away from you if they need to boost profits for the quarter? Or they find they could hire someone cheaper or use AI? Why is it that they get to decide where, when, and how long you work? If you ask me, it sounds like your job is more like your employer's job. And if you've seen the headlines lately, companies seem to be really working hard to find ways to get rid of their jobs. If you want to retire from, or even just survive the new challenges facing your career and the job market, perhaps it's time to learn what the term FIRE is and why it's more critical than ever. I'm Brooks Ritchie. I'm here to offer educational information to help you take control of your job, your money, plus talk about tactics to help you leave a job on your terms and not a decision made from your boss's spreadsheet. There's a big shift that's important to understand. While no job is ever secure, it's becoming even less so as more and more companies are embracing ideas changing the relationship with you. One from loyal employee or partner to more like a temporary or replaceable gig worker. Now, I'm sure you're a great employee and you probably killed it last year. And yet, you can still hear company phrases in emails like streamlining, redundancy, restructuring, aligning our workforce. The translation? We're probably cutting staff. Those uttered phrases can eventually affect anyone in the company, no matter if you're an amazing employee or an experienced loyal employee with a long history of past successes and just a few short months away from a pension. While the company pizza party, employee appreciation day, or company outing can make you feel safe, the reality of an eventual job change is always there. And if you're not preparing for that reality right now, you could find yourself in a devastating financial position when a layoff notice comes. Layoffs are just a company's way of optimizing for the future, but it's optimizing for their future, which may not include you in it. Now, if they are optimizing, you need to optimize too. The way to do that is to consider the principle of FIRE. So, what is FIRE? FIRE stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early. It's a movement that goes back to Vicki Robin and Joseph Dominguez's book, Your Money or Your Life. It was further made popular by financial blogger Mr. Money Mustache. It's a movement that has helped people plan and save to retire long before the traditional target age of 65. Now, don't let the word retire in the term FIRE fool you. When the idea of FIRE is applied to the new corporate mantra of ruthless efficiency and cutting workers, this isn't just about retiring early. It's also about giving you financial control earlier. And here's another important reason to consider FIRE. The arc of the average career window to build wealth and save is getting shorter. While you are growing in experience over the course of your career, to your employer, you're also likely growing in cost. And many in their 50s or even mid-40s are discovering that their age and higher salaries are making them tempting targets for layoffs. In fact, according to an AARP study covering 2024 and 2025, 22% report that those 50 plus feel like they are being pushed out of their jobs because of their age. And when out of a job, 37% report age discrimination in a job search. When they eventually find a job, many report new income that's 27% less than what they were making before. What's more, an AARP survey of long-term jobless workers found that 50% of older workers who have been out of work over the past 5 years are still not working. That means if we wait to prepare for our financial future later, we may not have the income we need to get to a safe retirement, just at the time we need it most. Also, let's not forget one of the biggest reasons people are forced to retire early: health issues. So, how do you FIRE? The general definition of FIRE is to have enough money saved and invested that you could survive without a paycheck. While retirement may be the ultimate goal, now is also the time to think about it as having the financial resources to withstand a job loss or a job change anytime in your career. For many in the FIRE community, that means saving and investing early. For some, that means saving and investing 50 to 75% of their income. That amount allows them to quickly build a portfolio large enough that they can live off their investment returns. An example of this is the FIRE blogger I mentioned before, Mr. Money Mustache, aka Pete Adney. He and his wife started saving a high proportion of their income, and through that, he was able to FIRE and retire with a net worth of around $800,000 by his 31st birthday, getting to financial freedom in just 10 years. Now, I realize that saving at that rate is pretty aggressive, and it's not for everyone. But think of this. If you started from zero and committed to saving and investing $500 at a 7% growth rate, projections say you would save about $28,000 in 4 years. Sure, not enough to full out retire. But if one day you find yourself having a chat with your manager in HR, that pile of money gives you breathing room to find a new job or even stress less getting a new job. As most states are at-will states, meaning your employer can freely choose to fire you just because, if that happens, you have the ability to make choices instead of sacrifices. In fact, there are different levels of FIRE that you can explore: Coast FIRE, Lean FIRE, Barista FIRE, Fat FIRE. Let's start with Coast FIRE. It's when you have enough saved and invested where your nest egg will grow by itself to retirement, all without additional contributions from you. That means from that point on, you can divert money to spend more on other parts of your life, or use it to take a less stressful job, knowing that saving for your retirement is already handled. Next is Lean FIRE. With Lean FIRE, you save enough to be able to live or retire on a very minimal budget. For example, some in the Lean FIRE community work to live off of about $30,000 to $40,000 a year. With Barista FIRE, you build enough savings to cover most of your basic living expenses. In this case, you may need to work part-time to cover some additional expenses of retiring early. For example, like healthcare. In fact, the term barista actually comes from people known to work at places like Starbucks part-time. And for people who are saving a lot, there's Fat FIRE. Saving and growing your money to maintain a more comfortable lifestyle. For example, those in the Fat FIRE community being able to save or spend $80,000 to $100,000 a year. The best part of FIRE is flexibility. You don't have to fully retire at 65, but imagine having enough saved that if you got laid off tomorrow, you'd be fine. You could take a year off to find the right job instead of the first job offered, or start that business you've always dreamed about. How to begin your FIRE journey today. You don't need to be making six figures to start building financial independence. Your best tool? Time and consistency. If you can save and invest, compound interest becomes a powerful ally. In fact, with consistent saving and investing, there's a tipping point where the money you save and invest works even harder for you. Growing faster and faster, it works both to protect you and be the wind behind your back to reach your desired level of FIRE. How a focus on fired before fired can protect you in the modern economy. It can help you build a financial moat. When you pursue FIRE, you're creating a buffer between you and financial disaster. According to US News and World Report, 42% of Americans can't handle a $400 emergency. But for someone saving and following FIRE principles, when you get laid off, you're not desperate. With money as a cushion, you have peace of mind. Adopting FIRE can help you gain negotiating power at work. When you're not desperate for immediate income to pay the bills, you can walk away from toxic jobs. You can say no to unreasonable demands. You can have more confidence in asking for the salary you deserve. When you adopt the ideas of FIRE, you're an empowered employee, not a scared one. Most people increase their spending as their income rises. It's a phenomenon called lifestyle creep. You get a bigger house, a fancier car, more expensive vacations. Things not only spend your money, but often increases your financial obligations to the point where you feel like a monetary prisoner to both your employer and your lifestyle. Adopting principles of FIRE can help you prepare for age discrimination. Now, it shouldn't exist, but for some it does. But if the number growing in your bank account can protect you, age once again can be nothing but a number. Adopting FIRE can help you pivot careers. Want to leave your high-stress corporate job for something more meaningful, but maybe lower paying? With financial independence, you can. You can become a teacher, an artist, a nonprofit worker, or start that small business. FIRE gives you the freedom to do work that matters to you, not just work that pays the bills. Your employer is not going to secure your financial future. But the good news? You have more control than you think. This channel's content will help you understand and navigate the financial, the corporate politics, and the economic trends that you need to consider in order to survive and thrive in this new work environment. Thanks for watching. If this resonated with you, please like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Let's build a community of people taking control of their financial futures. See you in the next video.